Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to talk about Appa's character arc. And it was surprisingly a difficult arc for me to put together because he's much more of a complex character than he seems to be on the outside. So a little bit about Appa's personality is that from the first episode, Appa is tired. He's a great listener. The gang actually talks quite a lot and he barely ever says anything. He always has Aang's back, and he's very reliable and trustworthy. Appa is also so loyal to Aang, he even lies for Aang in one of the episodes. He says he's tired so that Aang can go do some activities. He's also very peaceful at heart, like a gentle giant. He's even a vegetarian. He only eats like grass and hay and things like that. And apples. So, when I rewatched the series to see the story from his perspective, I felt like it was kind of a sad story for Appa for some reason. Maybe it's just because he loves Aang so much, even if he is tired and a little bit like a sloth. So, my conclusions from watching the series from his perspective is that Appa is the embodiment of strength. And when I say strength, I don't just mean the outer physicality. I mean that he is the physical embodiment of inner strength. So Appa truly believes with all his heart in Aang and in his bond with Aang. He's not just Aang's pet or something like that. He's basically given his entirety to Aang. He's given his heart and his life to serving Aang. He's basically the epitome of a knight that surrenders his entire self to a person because of what that person represents. And I believe that this is the reason that he's able to fly, even though he's one of the bigger creatures we see throughout the series. It's because he has no choice but to release, to trust, and to surrender to the air element. Even though he is massive, his power doesn't come from forcing. It comes from the balance between groundedness and surrender. So I think that Appa's call to adventure is when he met Aang as a young Appa, when Aang chose him and they bonded for life. Appa became his spirit animal guide at that moment. And so basically, whether it's good or bad, Appa is always there for Aang, and Aang the same. So Appa's refusal of the call was kind of tricky to identify for me. I think it's a very subtle theme for Appa, but important. I believe that his refusal of the call is his unconscious, quite literally. And it's that very thing, him being unconscious, that seems to be his lesson throughout the series. When I rewatched the series from Appa's point of view, I saw a little bit of the personality of the sloth, like from Full Metal Alchemist. And in this way, I believe that because Appa has a slight tendency to be sloth-like, it means that there's room for him to deepen his connection to his purpose. I felt that Appa's lesson was a very harsh lesson in strength that life sometimes puts on us. Because in truth, Appa is a very aware and already very loyal and trustworthy creature. It's in this way that I believe that Appa's supernatural mentor is actually life itself, teaching him how to deepen what he already has. His teacher is the part of life that builds the inner strength of endurance. Even though Appa is already a very evolved creature, we see that his Lost Days episodes are in the Book of Earth. This is another indication that makes me believe that his lessons are in endurance and also presence, because the earth element is all about these things. And endurance is a key part of strength that oftentimes we don't like to admit is there. There's a type of strength that sometimes we need to call upon that helps us withstand circumstances that we have no control over, even if they're long or repeated. It teaches us a different kind of surrender. A surrender to the fact that sometimes no amount of leadership, modeling, or persuasion will be able to calm down wild, unstoppable energy once it's been unleashed. So this is not just an earth element lesson, but an air element lesson as well. This lesson says that some winds of life are just too uncontrollable, even when they're painful and scary, and all you want is for them to stop. We see this again when Appa is forced to leave Suki, when Asula comes. He wants to help and save the Kyoshi warriors, but she forces him to leave, so he can stay on track and follow his bigger purpose. This is an act of true love that Suki does, because it not only teaches Appa to endure something painful again, but to stay focused on his mission. So Appa is forced to cross the threshold into the unknown world without Aang when the Sandbenders steal him away. We can see that he uses his outer and inner strength to fight them off, but is put back to sleep by a dart. On the outside, we could say that Aang and Aang's mission are Appa's supernatural mentor as well. Like when Aang blows the bison whistle, Appa's presence and strength is greatly increased. And Appa keeps remembering Aang throughout his lost days, which keeps his strength up despite all of the misfortune and pain he comes across. This teaches him another key aspect of strength that often goes unseen, which is focus. And because Appa is thrown into this unknown world without Aang, he is also forced to find the heart to keep going. And then Appa reaches what's called the belly of the whale in the hero's journey, when he meets the guru at the Eastern Air Temple. He's now become super suspicious of outsiders, and has become untrustworthy of the outer world. I think the overall biggest lesson of Appa's last days, though, are that they reinforce the bond between him and Aang. We see this when Guru reads Appa's energy and is able to find Aang. This way they'll always know where each other are from now on. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. This is just an intro to Appa's arc, even though it does cover a lot. I'll probably be doing just a short character arc on Momo, and then I'll release Zuko's character arc. Let me know who your favorite character is in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.